What's up, guys, and welcome to my channel. And today we're going to talk about a very special topic. We're going to talk about how we are magicians, how we are literally in like a wizard school, which isn't wizard school. Like humanity, like society has been slowly groomed or steered towards, like directed towards a more like magic loving. Like what I'm saying is that I know everything I'm gonna say won't make sense, but I'm hoping someone's gonna understand what I'm talking about. Like for thousands of years, history's been hidden. And there's like a hidden ruling class of individuals, like an elite ruling class. They're in our faces, but people don't see it. They see it as the way the mainstream tells us. But if you think about it, there are literally a higher secret class of like witches, wizards, and warlocks. As if I know the difference between a wizard and a warlock, but they literally exist, and they are the ones in the elite billionaires and one trillionaire family, and a bunch of like followers, multimillionaires, and like puppets that follow them. And they join the secret societies, or they're born into it, and they don't use spells and magic like in the movies, like waving a wand and a light comes out, or like on colors and shit. Like the tricks that they use are mental tricks, mind tricks. They use technology. They use tricks of the mind to essentially. And words to trick us, and they do rituals that I wouldn't know about, but they do stuff like drawing circles on the ground, people chanting, lighting incense, fires, and stuff like that. And they literally, that's why there's so many music songs, like it's all connected. Like they do these rituals and spells, and they put their initiates through rituals, and they've been manipulating history for thousands of years. They've been there from the beginning, and everything's connected. Like they teach us stuff, like they teach us spells, spell casting, spellcraft, spelling, writing down stuff in school. We write down stuff, and then they use that writing to put things into reality. Like example, they use words in law, right? They have words they write down bills and laws in words, written words. Our words have powers. Our signature has power. So they've been teaching us spellcraft, spelling, because a lot of words have double meaning. And I've always heard that if you say something over and over again, then it's gonna be coming true. I will become a powerful martial artist. I will become the most powerful martial artist. I will be successful. I will succeed. Stuff like that. If you keep saying stuff like that, it's like mantras. You know what I mean? Like they have power, because when you say something over and over again, you hear it, then it's like you're telling your brain what to do. You're programming yourself. So that's like a kind of like magic, right? And then we're taught to do stuff like we have a birthday, we buy a cake and we put candles on it, and then we make a wish and blow it out. Like, what the hell? What's that about? Where did that come from? Like, where did the history of that come from? And everything in history's been rewritten. Like, all history is a lie. Like, if you actually look deep into the history, any historical event, you'll find it's like, oh wait, this is not the truth. This is actually what happened. And I'm not so sure about like things like I won't get into that, but like, yeah, or like we go to school and we graduate from our education, and then we wear a black robe and we wear the black cube on our head. So black robes, the black cube, the cube of Saturn, Saturn worship, the Saturn moon matrix. And yeah, they essentially teach us, we're like essentially, we are essentially mages. And then they bring up some of these people who actually go through the system, that are groomed in elite universities, the secret societies, to influence these Hollywood people. Hollywood. It was designed to control the minds of the population. Hollywood is the wood that wizards use in their wand, in their staves. They use that to enchant their staves. They use that wood for their staves and their wands. Hollywood. That's what Hollywood is, to cast spells over the minds of the masses. Because with Charlie Sheen, they're all connected. Charlie Sheen, all the celebrities, they're all like they're all like, their bloodlines, their families their parents were famous, and then they're brought up and they're famous. Like Charlie Sheen, remember, they all go through these weird breakdowns because they go through these weird rituals, satanic rituals. Remember Charlie Sheen? He's like, I'm a warlock. I'm winning. Remember he was saying that? He said he was a warlock. And then, yeah, it's all connected. Like, I know that we live in an electromagnetic realm. We don't live in a flying ball. There's no space. And people are like dumbed down. Like, they don't even, you tell someone something, they don't look into it. They don't even look into it. Because people are like a spell is put over them. Like, they're so like dumbed down. And that's why this magic stuff is like so popular. Like, isn't there like little kids cartoons on TV about magic and witches? And like, look, Sabrina the Teenage Witch, and like TV shows like, Salem. And like, the story with Salem is, if you guys don't know, in North America, way back in the day before it was even settled by Europeans, right when it was just Native Americans there, and then the first Europeans came over, they were settling there, and these new Americans, they were really teaching us in school about the witch burnings, and how these witch burnings were like a cause of paranoia due to the fear of the new land, and they were really religious Christians, and they just started burning random people at the stake because they were paranoid, and innocent people, women and men, and mostly women, were getting burned alive because of a random paranoia, fear. But the truth is that these Christians and people found out, like these people, these regular citizens, they found out what these witches and stuff were doing with children, and they were doing sexual rituals with them. They were doing blood sacrifice rituals, and they found, essentially, the society found out these people existed, and so then they just rounded them up and burned them all. And rightfully so. We should be doing that stuff now, but just people are, they literally don't think that they exist. And the devil tricked everyone. He tricked everyone and made everyone think that he doesn't exist, and he's not there. And essentially, yeah, that's what happened in history, the real history. But now they're so powerful that it's like it won't happen like that anymore, because people, they just don't believe in it. Like, what happened was, there was this case called the West Memphis Three. Damien Eccles, he was the one of the three teenagers that were accused of murdering these other three younger children. And what happened was these three teenagers, they were caught with all the evidence, semen, DNA evidence. They were caught with a book by Aleister Crowley, a black magic sacrifice book, talking about how raping and murdering a young boy would increase your magic power to the dark, magic. And essentially, Damien Eccles, he got his friends to do this stuff. And then what happened was that they were about to go to jail. They were about to get busted for everything. But who heard about it? Oh, the occult heard about it. And they since they control the media, they twisted the whole narrative, and they made it. And Johnny Depp and a bunch of musicians from Black Sabbath, I think, came to rescue the West Memphis Three. And then the whole news and the trials was about these three teenagers, that they were, just because they were goth, that they were being misunderstood and falsely accused. And to this day, no one ever talks about the three boys that were killed. They just talk about those three guilty imbecile murderers who got away with the murdering these three boys. They're always the ones who steal the spotlight. But what happened was that one of them was pretty much like a retard, and he pretty much probably feels really guilty, and he's the one who actually admitted to the police that they did this. But then in the end, they changed his story and said that he was pressured. But the point is that these witches and warlocks, they're powerful here on Earth temporarily, and they're the ones who call the shots now. They control the law. They control the police force. They control everything. Who the judges, who goes to jail. And straight up, Johnny Depp and them got rescued these guys. And now Damien Eccles, now he's an adult. He writes books about black magic, and he has these weird tattoos, and they have these pedophile symbol tattoos. I think they share the same tattoo. It's like a pedophile symbol. It's like a swirl. I know Marilyn Manson has that one, and it means like, or you could have a heart and a little heart inside of it. That means big love, little love, which is disgusting. Okay, that's how these people communicate. That's disgusting. Or like Harry Potter. You know Harry Potter, right? Why is it so popular, right? Why wouldn't it be so popular? It's like magic, right? Of course they need to promote magic. That's why there's so many songs. The music industry is obviously involved. Just read the lyrics of any song. They teach bad things. Or they cast spells, or they do backmasking, and they plant a seed in the minds of people, and then people do that stuff because they repeat the song over and over again in their head, singing it, and then they start doing whatever the song says. They might start believing the way that the song teaches them. And the spells cast, dancing and doing performances. Those are like kind of like a spell casting. That's why there's so many like performers. They use celebrities to and then they go through the ritual themselves. Like they go to the Grammy Awards or the Emmy Awards, and they get or the Oscar Awards. Those statues they get, they're like little idols. Those are like Egyptian gods. Like that's like a statue that the Egyptians would do that. The ancient Egyptians, because they had a secret elite class. They had an elite class in Egypt. It's always from the beginning of time. It's been happening. They have these secret groups, and they teach the secret mystery of the religions. They're supposedly teaching truth, but they're actually lying, because they do these rituals that actually, they get freaking the wrong information. They get freaking contacted by demonic spirits when they do these rituals. They think they're trying to get enlightened, but they're actually contacting like evil shit that deceive them and blind them. and possess them, and they do these sick shit like who was that wasn't there one lady, she was like, oh yeah, she was the one who, Anthony Bourdain, Anthony Bourdain, he was a famous chef on CNN. He was like a famous cook, and then he did his own TV show. His show was pretty awesome actually, but he pretty much started dating this witch, and then she killed him. She sacrificed him, and then she even said she was casting a spell to protection against Trump or something. She put a hex on Trump, and there are witches still today. Like it's been happening. They're just trying to. They've been hiding. They do satanic sacrifice, human sacrifice, and it pisses me off that no one sees it. And then they keep promoting magic, and straight up, it's all connected. And there's so many songs called Magic. Search all the songs called Magic. You have to search by who, because there's so many artists that have a song called Magic. And they do some spells, like they'll do Truth in Plain Sight. Like that's one spell, a minor spell, where they'll show the truth right in your face, and then you won't think it's real. They do that in movies, like they do it in so many movies. They did it in Captain America, showing and the United Nations, they do that. They show the flat earth. They show the flat earth right in your face. They use the map. All these organizations use the flat earth map that they use for navigation and travel. And and then they reverse engineered it into a ball. And or like in Captain America, they tell about how Operation Paperclip, where they, after World War II, they captured the German Nazi scientists and brought them over to America, and then they corrupted the whole system with their study of the occult, because everyone knows Hitler's crew secret, what are they called? The Gestapo or whatever, there's SS high level guys were like studying occultism, and they had witches. Again, the elites of the world, they're all involved. They're all doing it. There's like freaking secret societies and like a temple, like a Masonic temple inside the royal families, Buckingham Palace. And it's like when they go to the awards shows, they're all like in a group. They're like walking down a red carpet, like that represents the bloodlines. The bloodlines, they're all related. You can see like, Kim Kardashian's related to Oprah, or like, they always have some kind of connection, or did you know that what's her name is related to Oprah? Ellen DeGeneres, the talk show host, the American talk show host, or like, she's related to the Queen, or like, all these connections, because they like to people who join them, they like them to be part of the arch negative blood type. This blood type is a very rare bloodline that draws lineage to the Egyptian royal family, because again, it's been happening for thousands of years. The earth is young, it's not millions of years old. And they use media to either tell propaganda lies or to or to tell the truth and make it like a joke, because constantly they show the truth right in people's faces. It's like a spell they cast, and people don't understand. It's like right in your face. And then when people talk about it, hey, that's real, they just say, oh, that's from a movie, that's from a game, are you kidding me? It's like called deflection. Or they use humor. Some of these celebrities will just say the truth and mock it like a joke, and then people think, oh, it's not true. You know what I mean? And I'm telling you, like, it's these witches and warlocks and whatever, they're just hiding. They're studying pretty much Aleister Crowley's studies, which is Satanism, and I'm telling you that the reason they push all this stuff like evolution, space, millions of years old, is because they wanted to call the Bible a liar and call the God a liar. And you guys should study the original King James Version Bible, because that's the real truth, guys. If you look deep into history, that's the real truth. Okay, there ain't no other truth but that. And it's these warlocks and magicians, they're hidden in plain sight, teaching us to be like them, and slowly they're gonna come out and we're gonna accept them, because the next gen, it gets worse and worse and worse. They get more and more brainwashed, more and more dumbed down, and all of us pretty much do magic anyway, whether it be in video games or we play some card games or tarot cards or whatever hobbies which is against God. Sorcery, magic, necromancy, all this stuff that God doesn't like, right, is being promoted, obviously, because since they are hiding and controlling society, they like to promote the opposite of what the Bible says. They do everything opposite. That's why everything's being reversed. All the roles are being reversed. That's why movies, they always make the female now stronger than the male. They're trying to reverse everything, invert everything. Everything will be inverted, and the paradigm will shift all the way to the end until there's huge conflict, and then after the divide, massive conflict, and then a one world takeover, and it's going to be like dystopian future, and that's when the mark of the beast will come, I'm sure. That's when they're going to say, okay, everyone's going to be digitally connected, Neuralink connected to the internet, and you guys are all going to be connected via internet with a chip in your brain, and you won't be able to escape. You won't be able to hide. You'll be stuck in like, yeah, it's going to be just horrible. It's going to be horrible. And if you don't have that chip, you won't be able to buy or sell. But in the future, it's going to be like after the resistance, it's going to be normal. Everyone's going to have it. And the paradigm's going to shift where whatever was good will be whatever was good will be hated, and evil will be accepted and the normal. That's the paradigm. Like pedophilia, these people are trying to legalize pedophilia. They're like this hidden ruling class, and everything's connected. There is flat. If you follow your compass to the North Pole, if you follow that to the north, you keep going north, you're gonna head straight to a hole in the earth where that's the center of the flat plane realm, and that's where the Aurora Borealis comes out of. And there's a magnetic mountain, and there are rivers that come forth from there. And if it was a real magnetic polarity with a south and north pole, whenever you go south, your magnet should start pointing to the south. But no one ever has had that, because the south pole doesn't exist. There is no south pole. The south pole is Antarctica. Antarctica is the perimeter, the ice wall, where that just goes beyond, keeps going until it gets dark and dark and dark, and there's no light there. Nothing can survive there. And then there's probably the barrier, which is the dome wall, the dome firmament, the ceiling above our head, which is a mirror. Like, I mean, that's why the sky's blue, because reflecting the ice is reflecting the oceans. And I'm living in a world with dumb people. I'm living literally in a world with retards. And I've broken free from the Matrix. The Matrix, the movie, is talking about this, freeing your mind, waking up, and It's a huge conspiracy. Everyone's involved. Everyone thinks I'm crazy, but you guys are the ones crazy, and I'm the one who's sane. You ever hear Socrates' phrase? You ever want to be his quote? Socrates, he said, "If you want to be wrong, follow the masses." And the secret societies they've been fucking around, controlling the minds of the masses for thousands of years, because in reality they've been making contact with these spiritual beings that have been telling them, pretty much demons and Satan and the fallen angels, probably telling them bullshit, masking themselves as kind of like enlightened beings. Now this new age crap has come forth, and everyone's so like deep into the new age. So stupid. New age is like the stupidest thing. I used to believe in that shit too, but oh, we are all energy, we are all one. There are infinite universes and alternate dimensions, and we are all connected, and we are all fractaled pieces of of the great, like, of God, right? God fractaled himself, and that he's trying to regain memory. He just wanted to experience. And oh my gosh. Or like, if you're gonna believe in the demiurge, maybe the demiurge, you like the Saturn, the moon matrix. The Saturn moon matrix. You know, the Saturn moon matrix. The demiurge, but I'm telling you, it's not that way. That's a lie. It's not that way either. It's exactly like the Bible says, but King James version though. King James version. Yeah, and then I don't know what else to say. Like, you have to study signs and symbols. Like, there's always black and white, the black and white checkerboards, which is pretty much their philosophy. Black and white are the duality, the two sides of the same coin. Good and the light and darkness are two sides of the same coin. That good and evil are necessary. That evil is necessary because they're two sides of the same coin. One cannot exist without the other. That's a lie. That's a lie. And yeah, it's like saying, that's like saying study the dark side part of you. You know what I mean? Like, I remember I saw this video with I think it was Kobe Bryant. He was saying, hey, you guys got to study about your dark muse, kids. You got to study about your dark side. You study about dark muse. Your dark. It was a fucked up video. And then they showed in a cartoon. It was like a silly cartoon, but it showed him dying in a helicopter crash. And then he died in a helicopter crash because they're in a secret society, and in a satanic cult, they have to sacrifice to even get there. And then anytime they could be sacrificed, because every year they need to sacrifice 3 of them to their deity, which is not a deity, it's just a fallen thing, an abomination that will be wiped out eventually. And if you believe in that, you're on the wrong side. You're on the losing side. And they use secret symbols to communicate with one another, whoever's in the secret group. And one of the symbols is like a lightning, because Lucifer, in the Bible, says Lucifer fell from heaven like lightning. So they pay homage to lightning, or to the sun, which is symbolic of Lucifer, the light bearer. That's why there's sun worship. So there's essentially sun worshippers and sun and moon worshippers, and they're like these satanic cult, but they would claim they're not, but they worship either Sophia, the mother goddess, which is the god of below. They believe in the god of above and god of below, and they hate the god of above, which is Yahweh, but Jehovah. But actually, they just misunderstand him completely. And then they're worshiping Satan, and like Lady Gaga uses the lightning symbol. AC/DC uses the lightning symbol. Kiss uses the lightning symbol. Marilyn Manson uses the lightning symbol. Gatorade uses the lightning symbol. A program called Damon's Tools Light, or actually it's called, if you looked at it, it's actually called Demon's Tools Light. Interesting, right? Tools Light. Get it? Light. Light Bear. That's why there's so many songs called Light. Like Ellie Gouldie and her song Lights. Like, so many songs like The Flash, like Greek gods. The Greek gods are essentially fallen angels, or it's just like history is right there. It's like the Bible is the true history. Just read the Bible, guys. Everything will make sense. And yeah, guys, like, who else used the lightning? So many things. Like AC/DC Thunderstruck. You've been thunderstruck, or I've been thunderstruck. Like so many things, like, and yeah, they'll use the spells they use are not the spells we think they are. And they do spell rituals to summon demons. And that's why so many things are becoming, like, demonic things are being popularized. And witchcraft and sorcery and magic is being popularized. That's why Yu-Gi-Oh! Is promoted. Because Yu-Gi-Oh! Is satanic to the core. And these video games, all video games I've looked at now that I'm through different eyes, they all have some sort of lie or propaganda to make us think some way. Always to doubt the Bible, or make us think more this way. They want us to believe this, like, science and bullshit nonsense, like space and like infinite aliens, infinite worlds, infinite dimensions, string theory, all this scientific mumbo jumbo bullshit. And in reality, everything's so much more simple, but infinitely more, like, to the microscopic level, complex than they tell us. Because the most simplest thing that you could, like a microscopic single-celled organism or a atom, is so complex. Like, if you look at basic chemistry, chemists will always say, like, everything gets more and more and more and more complicated at the smallest level. Like, they don't see how it could be just evolved, you know what I mean, like that, by chance. That everything has been designed this way, and they are trying to hide it because they want us to believe that we can be magicians, gods. We can be godlike. We can change everything. Trust in Jesus Christ, and God bless you and your families.